70 years ago, the ethnic nationalities in the Burma Thai region enjoyed their lives in their land, with families content and living in peace without the threat of a corrupt and most brutal Burma army that would threaten their very existence for the next 70 years. Just 1 year ago, the world was praising Burma, asserting that it was a new, up-and-coming, rising democracy, while all the ethnic groups and those that have knowledge of the region knew that nothing further could be from the truth. Now, 1 year later, after 10,000 Karen people stood at the steps of the United States Capitol building on November 6, 2017, to expose the corrupt deeds of this most brutal regime. And again on June 18, 2018, with nearly 15,000 at the steps of the U.S. Capitol building and in other countries around the world, demanding prosecution of these generals committing genocide against the ethnic groups. And now governments from around the world have imposed sanctions and are demanding the international criminal courts bring the corrupt and brutal Burma army generals to justice, along with their co-conspirator, Aung San Suu Kyi. Just a week ago, after the NLD Secretary of Naypyidaw defected and traveled to the United States, he confirmed what we had suspected all along, that Aung San Suu Kyi has been collaborating with the Burma generals all along and has worked in concert with them to use the NCA, Nationwide Ceasefire Agreement, to further diminish the ethnic groups and further their goal of the full and complete Burmanization of the region. One nationality, one religion, one language, one culture. The NCA was never an instrument of peace, but rather an instrument to disarm the ethnic groups, the rightful owners of their ancestral lands, to take the land and its precious resources. I want to share my heart with all of the Karen, Kachin, Shan, Arakan, and the other ethnic nationalities, that the Burma army has always divided for their strategic advantage of ridding the region of these precious ethnic groups. I want to share that one is only powerless if you believe you are powerless. The corrupt and brutal Burma army has used the NCA to impose fear against the ethnic nationalities and make them feel powerless. The corrupt and brutal Burma army generals and Aung San Suu Kyi are filled with greed, seeking more power and wealth at the expense of the families that they have worked so hard to destroy. The ethnic groups in that region are an example to the world of good people with a desire to live free and peacefully on their land without the threat to their families. And yet the corrupt and brutal Burma army enslaves not only the ethnic groups, but even their own people. We must not stand for this violence to continue to be perpetrated on these innocent people. Our stand requires the tactic of 100% unity between all ethnic groups, grounded in the love for freedom for their people. Now is the time, and it will likely not present itself again. Freedom does not come easy. We must be fully committed, all in. I cannot yet share many things that are happening right now that will advance the freedom and rights of ethnic nationalities in that region. But I would request your prayerful support daily throughout the month of December and January, and it is critically needed. Many feel called to lead. You feel it deep inside, and now is the time. The time is short. You must act. If not now, then when? And if not you, then who? Now is the time. Not tomorrow, but now. The corrupt and brutal Burma army hates that the Karen and others are seeing signs of hope. The Burma generals instead want the Karen, Kachin, Arakan, Shan, and others on their knees with heads hung low. The Burma corrupt generals have created the climate of what we see today in this region. Their intentions has been clear all along, and they cannot be trusted. While we celebrate Thanksgiving, next month we celebrate Christmas. Tens of thousands are locked in refugee camps, which fear is the most destructive weapon used by the corrupt and brutal Burma army, so that they can strike fear in people's hearts and to completely annihilate the human spirit. We must not allow that to happen. The young ethnic people are the arrows in our quiver, and now is the time for them all to rise up, stand up, and act to defend those that have been so long oppressed. The Burma generals have dehumanized people, and we must sound the alarm and stand for some of the most amazing people ever. The politics of the last decade have failed, and to continue in the same efforts would be catastrophic. They have done nothing for the people suffering. Our fight for freedom is not lost unless everyone walks away. We must not ever consider walking away, and instead must stand up like never before. After having the privilege of meeting with some amazing Karen leaders over Thanksgiving, we reaffirmed our commitment to stand up for our people. We must fight with our human spirit. We are nothing without each other. If all ethnic groups unite as one and withdraw from the NCA, it would deal a fatal blow to the corrupt and brutal Burma army. Then, and only then, can each group officially request intervention from the United Nations and other world governments. I ask for everyone to pray like you've never prayed before, to stand united like never before, and stand with us at the end of December as we have a critical meeting to discuss the future of the most amazing people. I encourage each ethnic nationality that is impacted by the corrupt and brutal Burma army to talk amongst yourselves and be prepared to stand tall and united to stop the senseless suffering of our people.